I'm Plami, and in this episode of Trail of Curiosity, I'm gonna be reacting to the trailer to the newest installment in the Scream franchise, Scream 5. And it's really funny to me how I literally just talked about movies from the late 90s and the early 2000s, like horror movies from that time, getting a bunch of sequels slash reboots, seemingly in the last like 2 years. Quite a lot of them, and going forward we have a few to look for as well. And now we have another one. I mean, are you serious? And I know this is not like those two other movies trailers that I reacted to, like Resident Evil and Paranormal Activity, because those movie franchises were much more from the early 2000s, while Scream is more of like a 90s horror movie rather than the 2000s. But there was still installments in the Scream franchise in the early 2000s, so you can still count it like that. And yeah, Scream for me is not necessarily a horror movie that I really like or anything. I don't think it's bad franchise or anything, but for me it's just the fact that it's so based in meta commentary on horror movies and everything kind of ruins it for me personally a little bit, because when I watch horror movies, I personally prefer to be taking it seriously and can be invested in the story seriously, as if I'm experiencing it. And with Scream, I don't really feel like I get to do that, because there's so much meta commentary and everything. And the commentary is fine, it's actually very funny and clever, but that kind of makes the movie more of a kind of like a horror comedy movie rather than a horror only movie. And I don't know if I've necessarily mentioned this before when I've reviewed some horror movies, but I'm not a big fan of horror comedies or comedy horrors, whichever one describes those type of horror movies, which also have a shit ton of jokes. So I don't necessarily like these, but again, it's good, and if the trailer managed to interest me or impress me in any way, I'm gonna check it out. And this movie is supposed to be a continuation, it's supposed to be another sequel, not really a reboot. But considering the fact that it is going to feature a lot of the original cast from the first movie, I think, from what I've checked on Wikipedia, that's what it says. And the fact that it is intended to be used as a relaunching of the franchise, you can kind of take it pretty much as a sequel, except in name. But sadly for me, probably my favorite character from the Scream movies, and an actor that I actually really like, who I really got to love so much because of the TV show Ghost Whisperers, Jamie Kennedy doesn't seem like he's going to be in this movie, which is weird because he is a big part of the Scream movies, at least I feel like. So that's kind of a bit of a disappointment, because if he was in it, I would definitely have more of an interest to check it out, because I haven't seen him in anything since Ghost Whisperers, and I would be interested to see more of him, although after checking a little bit of his Wikipedia page, he's been in a decent amount of stuff since, so there might be something interesting with him that I could check out. But anyway, enough with me babbling about stuff, let's just get into the trailer and see what we can see from it. In 3, 2, 1. I gotta say, I like the murder mystery aspect of the Scream movies, but it never feels like it's that focused on, you know? I would prefer it more if it was taking that part seriously without a commentary.
This isn't funny, Amber.
Would you like to play a game, Tara?
Wrong franchise, buddy. The Soul franchise is few streets down the road.
Doors unlocked. All doors locked.
Oh, smart home, that's interesting.
Doors unlocked.
I guess this might be a Scream movie for a new generation, and it's gonna take advantage of new technologies and stuff and make it different. But I hope it's not just that.
Hello?
It's happening.
3 attacks so far. Do you have a gun?
I'm Sydney Prescott. Of course I have a gun.
Something about this one just feels different.
Does it though? It does seem a little bit like a shameless cash grab, but it's probably gonna be at least
I know
good.
who you are.
I've been through this a lot. This is your life now, which means that whoever this is going to keep coming for you. You ready for this?
There's certain rules to surviving.
Okay, this might be a little bit darker, so that's gonna be
people
interesting.
related to the original killers.
A lot of familiar
Never
actors I'm
linked to
recognizing in the
past.
trailer. I'm gonna talk about them
Let's
later
pull
though.
us all back here. And I won't sleep until he's in the ground.
Okay, I'm actually kinda interested.
Hello, Sydney. It's an honor.
Is that it? Okay. So, right off the bat, I can tell you that I'm not as excited about this movie as I am for the new Paranormal Activity, but I'm definitely more excited than I was for the Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City. So there's that. And yeah, this actually doesn't seem that bad, but very similar to how I felt about the Resident Evil movie. I'm kind of interested in it a little bit more for the actors now that I've seen which actors are gonna be in the movie, because there's quite a few actors that I recognize. There's that one guy from The Boys, which is a series that I wanted to check out. I've watched reactions of the first season, but I've never watched it myself. But it does seem to be a show that I really like, so if you want me to watch it and maybe do reviews of it, comment down below. There seems to be that one actor from what was that Netflix series? I think it was a Netflix series about suicide. 13 Reasons Why, I think it was. There's that one guy from it in this movie. There's obviously the original, some of the original cast. Although I only kind of recognize the main girl, the final girl of that movie, Sydney. So yeah. And I wonder if this is gonna be the kind of thing. I assume that this is still canon to all the other movies, but I wonder if they may be deciding to go for the kind of Halloween approach that they did recently, where it was a direct sequel to the original, but the other movies were non-canon. That's potentially a thing. I don't know. I don't know enough about the movies. I don't remember which characters are alive or dead and all those stuff, so I can't really comment on that, but I'm just wondering about it. Because it still seems to be reminiscent of in that regard, because it's bringing the original cast for another modern outing, and yeah, I don't know. I've never really sat down to think about which kind of approach for a reboot I prefer. Because honestly, I feel like any kind of reboot can work as long as it's good, but I don't know. I feel like it is going to be mostly good, because it seems that it's gonna be maybe a little bit more serious than the original movies. We'll see about that. I still would love if the commentary was the meta commentary was in it, because it's a staple of Scream. But we'll see whether that's gonna be a thing or not. So yeah, I guess let's just get into the trailer shot by shot and see if I missed anything. So we have this opening here with the house. I don't know if it's the house from the original movie. It does look somewhat familiar, but I don't know. Probably it's not. We have a girl kind of performing the typical Scream stuff with like picking the phone up and everything. But wasn't the famous quote from the Scream franchise, "What's your favorite scary movie?" Not "Would you like to play a game?" That's much more of a Saw thing, so why the fuck have they changed it? Maybe I'm misremembering, or maybe I'm just not familiar enough with the Scream, but that's how I remember it, so I don't know. And it is interesting that they're using like modern technology and smartphones, but why wouldn't the killer just call on the smartphone? Who the fuck does still even have a phone like that in their home. Like, maybe I'm unfamiliar with American households and everything. Maybe a lot of American households have that, but who? Like, seriously, I don't think most people have that kind of phone anymore. Why would you need that kind of phone when you have smartphones? I feel like because of that, I'm kind of skeptical about how well this movie is gonna handle the modernization aspect of it, because they seem to be including it, obviously, because there's no way they can't include it, but they still have not thought it through fully, it feels like, at least, because why wouldn't the killer just call on the cell phone? So yeah, we have a little bit of a chase scene with the killer here, killing her. It seems more serious, so I like that again. And this is kind of a cool scene with the smart locking of the house and everything. That's kind of cool, and employing modern technologies and everything. I like it, and it is pretty creepy. I wonder who's gonna end up being the killer in this one. So we have the OG actress and the OG character. I'm assuming that this is also a character from the original movies. I have no idea who that is, personally. To me, this guy just looks like... what's the name of that actor that was even recently in Loki? Owen Wilson. Yeah, this guy to me looks like Owen Wilson. I'm sure that it's not him, but it looks like him.
I'm Sydney Prescott, of course I have a gun.
So we have a bunch of more shots. I like how the fact that she has gone through the first movie, like for Sydney, I like how, because she has gone through that shit in the first movie, she's now more scared for her safety and has guns. That's kind of cool. It shows that she is traumatized after that. I like that aspect, even though it's like a small thing. Then we hear, I assume, this is gonna be a lot of the new cast. Here's the guy from 13 Reasons Why. When did he become blonde? I don't know. Let's see. Wait, did I skip a bunch of other characters here that get shown to us? Also, am I the only one who thinks that she looks like, what's her name? Sandra Bullock, was it? I swear she looks so much like her. Especially the way she looked in Bird Box, was it? I'm not quite sure whether that's the name. It had something to do with birds and boxes, but I'm not sure whether that's exactly what it was called. But yeah. So here's a bunch of characters. I think there was a few more shots of the new characters. Yeah, there's this guy from The Boys. I'm pretty sure that's where I know him from. Is there anybody else I recognize? I know who that guy is, because it's not Owen Wilson, but he looks like him, and he's looks like a badass, so I'm interested to see what the movie is gonna do with his character. So we have Sydney here, a bunch of people running away. Okay, question. And again, I haven't seen any of these actors ever since watching those movies, which I don't even know whether I've even watched all of them. I've watched the first one, and I don't know if it was in the first one or not. That one, a famous scene with Jamie Kennedy lying on the couch, looking at the TV, and essentially making commentary about how he's almost going to die because the killer is right behind him. That's a really memorable scene for me, but I don't know if it was in the first movie or not, but I've watched the first movie and whichever movie that scene is in. I don't know if it's the first one or not. Otherwise, I only remember watching the kill counts on YouTube for those movies. So I don't know who this woman is, but they look so similar to me. So yeah, I just wanted to comment on that. So it's even more confusing to me because already the actress for Sydney looks so much like Sandra Bullock, and now seeing this, whoever it is, it's even more confusing. Okay, so with the few scenes that we get here,
It's an honor.
I wonder if it's gonna be somebody from the original movie. I mean, I feel like that would be known, at this point, maybe because you wouldn't be able to hide somebody from the original movies who could possibly be the killer in this one coming back for the movie. I feel like you wouldn't be able to hide that, but who knows. But I like how he says it's gonna be an honor to kill Sidney, maybe because whoever is the killer has an appreciation for what the original Ghostface did. I don't know. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Okay. So yeah, this ended up being much longer than I expected in terms of sharing my thoughts. I haven't even ever been interested in this franchise this much, but I still had more to say about this than I had for the Paranormal Activity trailer or the Resident Evil one. But yeah, I don't know. As I said, I'm more interested in this than the Resident Evil reboot, but I'm still mostly the most interested for the Paranormal Activity one. But yeah, what did you guys think about this trailer? Comment down below, let's have a discussion about it. And also make sure to check out some other videos on my channel. I have plenty of cartoon reactions, gaming videos, K-pop reactions, TV series reviews, movie reviews, and all those stuff. And yeah, before we end this video, I just want to give a huge shout out to my currently one and only patron on Patreon, Omari Bridgman. If you want to join that person in supporting me, you can do that by going down the description below and clicking on the link to my Patreon or to my Ko-fi account, which for those of you who don't know what Ko-fi is, it's essentially a website just like Patreon where you can pledge your support to your favorite creators. The biggest difference between the two websites being that on Patreon it's more for like long-term support and you get benefits and perks for subscribing over there, while on Ko-fi it's more for like one-time donation kind of thing in exchange for a shout out on the channel or something like that. It's kind of like Twitch donations essentially. So if you want to go through that way, it's up to you. If you want to go to my Patreon, that's still up to you. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Also, check out in the description to my Twitter if you want to follow me over there, and to my Wattpad where I post my stories, because in addition to doing all these videos on my channel, I'm also a writer. And if you enjoy my stories or you simply enjoy my videos, you can head over to my Patreon or my Ko-fi account, like I just said, where you can pledge your support and help keep the channel going, help support me so I can keep writing the stories you enjoy. But if you don't want to do it, that's completely fine. You can still help me out in other ways, like liking this video, subscribing to the channel, and especially sharing this video with somebody who you think might enjoy it. And I think it's pretty much it for this video, so hopefully I'm gonna see you in the next one. Bye!